My mic's on. Do you want to just switch?
Live from Maine Memorial Stadium in Park Ridge, Illinois, WMTH-TV is proud to welcome you to Homecoming Football Friday for the Maine East Blue Demons. Tonight, the 1-3 Blue Demons face their crosstown rival, the 1-3 Warriors of Maine West High School. Hello, everyone, and happy homecoming weekend. Along with broadcasting student Nate Kleiber, I'm Mr. Philip Ash, and welcome to our broadcast of Blue Demon football. We just kicked the ball off. Maine West has received. They've got the ball at their own 30 as we are getting set for the first down of action here. Just underway here, 0-0 at Maine Memorial Stadium.
And now the ball is getting tossed to the running back of Maine West, and he goes up the sideline as two Blue Demons take him out of bounds. It looks like it's a first down near the 50-yard line. And I think what the Maine East Blue Demons are going to try and do is stop the running game early so that they're going to have to force them to the pass, and then hopefully their skill positions at the DBs will be able to win the game for them. And the Maine West Warriors are getting ready to snap the ball. And it's a false start on the Maine West Warriors as, a little bit of pregame jitters. Not what you want after a big play by the running back. And, just some things you're going to have to work out as the game goes on. But a little bit of pregame jitters. Hopefully it doesn't bite them in the butt too much throughout this game, because you never want to see a bunch of penalties, especially when you're trying to drive down the field on your opening drive. As they look to be in the same formation as they were before the false start penalty. They snap the ball, the QB rolls out, and it's a pass. They get it, and the Maine West wide receiver drops the ball at around the 50-yard line, which would have set them great field position.
Check.
For closer first down, but now it is second down and 15.
Thanks, Nate. Had a little bit of technical difficulties. Now we're back with you here, just underway after the false start. Ball's advanced to, looks like it was no gain on the play, so second and 15?
Yeah,
okay.
It was a drop.
So, Nate, what are your keys to the game tonight?
The keys to the game are going to be for the Maine West Blue Demons to stop the run early, win in the trenches on offense and defense, and not let the crosstown rivalry get in their head too much and not let them get super scrappy, as there's a run right there. And he gets to about the 50-yard line, about the 49.
Yeah, tough run there by their running back here as we get into third down now, and Short got a lot of that back. Going to be about 3rd and 4 situation. Jaden Whitehead there on the tackle. Yeah, I agree. Thanks for the keys to the game there, Nate. Of course, both these teams 1-3, kind of looking at some of the statistics between the two. Both points allowed and points scored against for both teams are almost virtually identical. So this will be an interesting matchup to watch. Here as we get set for a 3rd and 4 here out of the gun. 3 receivers, 2 to the left, 1 in motion, takes, hands off to number 5, coming up. And nice tackling there, setting the edge are the Blue Demons.
And that brings up 4th down. And that false start penalty really killed them at the beginning of the drive. And now it looks like, unless they go for it, it looks like they're going to punt.
Yeah, and that's going to be another key to the game for the Blue Demons is also, keeping the laundry off the field. You don't want to have too many penalties. And you mentioned earlier, you said, Nate, you thought that the offensive line and their play was going to be key to this game. Why do you think that is, aside from the fact that obviously football is won in the trenches? Do you have a sense that Maine East's offensive line might have a chance to win a matchup here as they go for it on 4th down here? Again, out of the gun, one back offset, gives to number 3. And he's going to get the first down and much more as he bowls his way forward past the 40 to the 39-yard line of the Blue Demons. So
as we just saw, this game is going to be a little bit scrappy because of the crosstown rivalry. These teams, not the best of friends, but you want to limit the unnecessary penalties you'll get from fighting after the play.
All right, so 1st and 10, empty backfield out of the gun. 5 receivers out. Takes the direct snap, looks to run it himself, is the quarterback for the Warriors, and he falls ahead forward for a gain of about 6 on the play. Quarterback Delaney.
Yeah, but the offensive line for the Maine East Blue Demons is going to be very important because, as any football team wants to do, the Maine East Blue Demons wants to set up the run game so that way they don't have to put as much pressure on their quarterback, and they're able to pass the ball with ease and not feel like they're forced to pass the ball every time.
Yeah, and if you're Maine East right now, you want to start pushing back a little bit up front. They had a couple of good stops and set the edge well, setting up that 4th down, but then they're just kind of getting beat up the middle right now as we have back to throw. Boots to his right, completes the pass, number 13. Nice form tackle, but it is going to be enough for a 1st down as the ball gets taken to about the 26-yard line of the Blue Demons.
Yeah, and
nice pass and throw by Maine West.
I think something they're going to want to do is use the athletic ability of their Maine West wants to use the athletic ability of their quarterback so that it's not just limiting him to just passing, where he can roll out like he did on that play, and the defense has to wonder whether he's going to run or pass.
Opening drive for the Maine West Warriors. Maine East begins on defense again out of the gun. Quarterback Delaney, one back to his left, tosses, and he's got room to gain. Easily gets up to and beyond the 1st down marker, and the run game success early for the Warriors has proven to be the difference here in the early going of the 1st quarter.
Yeah, and you got to think that the Maine East Blue Demons, they thought they were going to get off the field with that 4th down really quick, but after that penalty on the false start, the Maine West Warriors have been really clicking on offense, not too many mistakes.
Yeah, the Demons are on their heels here a little bit right now. Again, 1st and 10 here, ball at about the 15, again out of the gun. Boots to his right, and he's going to be tackled there after a gain about 5. Flag does come out on the play, a late flag. We'll see what the referee says here.
And you don't really want to be aggressive with your quarterbacks, but Maine West, as you look on the roster, does have 3 quarterbacks on the roster that also play defense. So it'll be interesting to see if they use all 3 of them or just go with one.
So holding on the Maine West Warriors is going to take them back. They'll be looking at a 1st and 20 situation. So 2 penalties early for the Warriors, even though they were able to overcome that early penalty of the false start and continue on with the drive. We'll see if Maine East can take advantage of this 10-yard penalty here.
And one thing that's really going to affect the game is the cold weather, and it's going to stiffen up your limbs, and hopefully that doesn't affect the ball carrying too much, and hopefully they can hold on to the ball and limit the mistakes.
So bunch formation. Delaney out of the gun. He's got it back to his right, man in motion. Takes the handoff, gives to his back, number 3. Again, big hole up the middle. Able to get all the penalty yardage and carries his way forward for about a 15 to 16-yard gain, setting up 2nd down and short. And again, so far, the offensive line of the Warriors has been bullying Maine East up front. They've got to get stouter. And again, like you said earlier, Nate, that early 4th down conversion has really put the Blue Demons on their heels here. And getting had in the trenches here as we look at 2nd down and about 5 yards to go.
And one thing that the coaches for Maine East pointed out.
Call it 2nd and 8, excuse me.
The one thing that the Maine East coaches wanted to point out was stopping the run game early, which they haven't been able to do.
Wide receiver toss over to the screen. Nice tackle, but it is enough for a 1st down. And the drive continues as we get to about 7 minutes to go here.
Not a 1st down.
Not a 1st down. It will be 3rd and very short. I don't see the moving the sticks yet. Looks like he's just short.
And you got to think that they're going to run it here. If they pass it, it's going to – if they do pass it, it's going to be a kind of like a rollout like we've seen. But with the Maine East Blue Demons not really being able to stop the run so far, you got to think that they're going with the run.
So out of the gun here on 3rd and short, hands it to his running back, takes it all the way in, and touchdown Maine West Warriors. Touchdown number 3, Isaac Pittman, the senior for the Warriors with the early touchdown, and it is a 6-0 Maine West Warrior lead in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, and you hate to see that because, like we've been saying, Maine East wanted to stop the run early, trying to, bully them up front, which the opposite has been happening. And they've been able to run the ball straight down the gut.
So Delaney is the hold and lined up for the extra point. Hold is good, and it is up and through.
And that's going to be important because in the last game we commentated against Round Lake, it seemed like the missed PAT was one of the things that kind of took them out of the game late in the game. So special teams is very important, especially with the PAT.
I'd like to welcome everybody to homecoming weekend here at Maine Memorial Stadium. It's fall's finally here in Park Ridge. Kickoff temperature is about 61 degrees. There is a breeze. It's overcast. We may get a little bit of sprinkles perhaps happening during the game, but it shouldn't be much. Should be able to get this one win without a trouble. The good news is it's not going to get much colder, so we should be able to just enjoy fall weather. It's actually quite beautiful for football right now. It's about the weather you want. And it's been the end of a long but entertaining homecoming week here at Maine East High School. Powder Puff football game, the Light the Night rally happened on Wednesday night, and we will try to keep you posted. The Maine East soccer team is playing, I believe, Vernon Hills at Vernon Hills, and if they win that game, they will capture the CSL crown for the first time in many, many years.
Think about 20.
I think it's actually longer than that, but what's most impressive about that team, as the ball rolls all the way down, no one seems to get it. Now we got it picked up here.
Jaden Whitehead with the
Jaden
pickup.
Whitehead gets it and is able to bowl his way forward there till about the 17, call it 18-yard line of Maine East. They have not allowed a goal against any team in the CSL that they've played this year. They've shut out all of their opponents in conference. So it's shaping up to be what could be a very special season for the Maine East soccer team. So if we get scores, we'll keep that up to date here on this broadcast.
And you got to credit them not allowing a goal to their senior goalie. I mean, Assad Zach, or not Assad. Assad's the sophomore football player. Amin Zach.
So their goalie is dominant, is what you're saying?
Yep.
Okay, good to know. I'd like to welcome our crack production staff here as well. Quentin Lasky, the Beast, producing us tonight, along with camera operator Elvis Mickelson. Elvis is in the building, and Edgar Vititis. And, of course, we have Nate Kleiber here alongside me, Mr. Philip Ash. As Blue Demons get set to take their first offensive possession out of the gun, turns, takes, gives to his running back, number 3 for the Blue Demons. Who is he?
Number 3 is
Yusuf
Yusuf
Awad.
Awad.
And he's tackled near the original line of scrimmage, might have lost a half a yard or so.
And a very interesting formation about the Maine East Blue Demons with, it seems, all of their, more of a power formation with all the people in the backfield that were not alignment. And it looks like they're going right back to that with 2 fullbacks next to the quarterback and a running back behind them.
Again, turns, takes, able to get a couple yards forward here. It's going to be 3rd and long. Not a whole lot there in the early going. Bit of a stalemate there on the line as they're trying that left side. Bringing up 3rd and 10. Haven't listed it as a gain, so no gain. 3rd and 10 for the Maine East Blue Demons.
And it looks like they're checking out of that formation, and got to think pass here because the running game has not been able to get through right or in their first drive. So you got to think pass right here. As they get to the line, it is a trips right formation by the Maine East Blue Demons. And maybe a flood concept on this play, but you never know.
We'll see. Adam Awad out of the gun, back to throw, sees pressure, rolls out, sets up a screen, but it's going to fall incomplete, intended for his brother, Yusuf Awad. That's going to bring up 4th down, and Maine East is in a punting situation.
Not what you want to see from Maine East. They wanted, what you want to see is a very dominant opening drive from the Maine East Blue Demons to respond to the Maine West Warriors, but now they have to punt the ball and rely on their defense, which, as we see from the Chicago Bears, does not work all that well.
Indeed. All right, we'll see how special teams does for Maine East as they have their first punt of the night. And that's going to be, take a little bit of a Maine East bounce. Nice tackle there. Looks like it might be a fumble on the play. We'll see. Early signal is Maine West ball, and they'll take over at their own 45-yard line. inside of 5 minutes to go here in the opening quarter of play.
And you got to think on this drive, there's going to be a big emphasis on blitzing the backfield, not letting the running back any time to breathe on this drive.
So again, you've seen what Maine West wanted to do here in the opening drive, and now if you're Coach Winkle, you're going to see how you can adjust. But I've noticed basically it's been yards up the middle. Can they plug those A and B gaps? If you're Maine East, they had a couple of times where I thought they did a pretty nice job of outside contain and keeping their gaps and setting those edges, but there's been too many yards up through the middle, and you're just hoping that it's not just a dominant situation there up front for the Warriors. So Delaney back to throw again, rolling to his right. Pass is completed to number 14, missed tackle, and he's going to take it to the 30-yard line for a big gain and a first down. Number 13 for the Warriors on the completion, Jason Heaton. Ernesto Martinez, excuse me, tackled by Jaden Whitehead.
It looks like Jaden was doing all the right stuff, or not Jaden. Looks like the cornerback was doing all the right stuff, keeping the receiver in front of him, not letting him break out for a big gain, but just couldn't get the tackle at the end.
So after that 22-yard gain, it is 1st and 10, and again, the Warriors in business in Maine East territory, ball at about the 33-yard line. Delaney takes this time, rolls to his left, again back to throw. Pass is caught to 14 for the Warriors. Tried the same exact play on the other side, Ernesto Martinez. And again, if you're DB on that play and you know that pass is coming, you want to crash down and try to pick that ball off. Seemed like he was a little bit slow to recover as 14 got open on him toward the sideline.
Yeah, and it seems like every time that the Warriors pass it's the QB rollout. And it looks like he's comfortable throwing on the run.
It does. I would say more to his right. Big gain up the middle, number 25 tackled, touchdown-saving tackle there on the running back, number 25, taking it all the way inside the 5. It'll be 1st and goal. O'Neill Miller-Smith, the running back.
And that's the dangerous part about having the pass game open up early is that they can always rely on that steady run game.
It's been a pretty good balance offensively for the Warriors, as you said. Yeah, there's been an equal run-pass distribution for the most part. Delaney very comfortable rolling out either to the left or the right. We'll see what they do here. Operating again out of the gun. Takes a snap, hands to 25, sees a hole. Get a good stuff, and he's going to be just short of the goal line, bringing up 2nd down and goal. Good tackling and hitting going on down there.
Oh,
I will say, as an overall thing, I feel like the tackling has gotten better this season for the Maine East Blue Demons overall. I'm seeing more form tackling, more sticks. Just as an overall thing as I'm getting into my 2nd game here of the season.
Yep, and that has been a focus for the Maine East Blue Demons the whole year round, trying to limit the mistakes on tackling, and focusing on tackling low and biting at the kneecaps.
Time out of the Wildcat, direct snap to 25, and he is going to be in for the touchdown off the left side. Touchdown for Maine West Warriors, number 25, O'Neill Miller-Smith, with the direct snap off the Wildcat formation, able to run it in. Currently 13-0 here at Maine Memorial Stadium. About 3 minutes and 15 seconds remain in the opening quarter of play.
And if you're the Maine East Blue Demons, you gotta not let this get in your head. Just if you're the offense, you gotta just score on this drive, and then nothing you could do about the pass. Just keep moving forward.
Snap, hold down, kick is up and good, and it is up to a 14-point lead here, as Quentin the Beast Lasky works on updating that scoreboard for us all. I see it. Oh, there we go. All right.
And so if you're the Maine East Blue Demons right now, your focus has to be scoring on this drive. You don't want to give the Maine West Warriors any more momentum than they already have.
Well, not only that, I mean, obviously you want to score on this drive, but if nothing else, you want to gain a few first downs and give your defense a rest, because that's 2 long touchdown drives by by the Maine West Warriors. You've only ran 3 offensive plays if you're the Warriors, or if you're the Blue Demons, excuse me. I don't know how many the Warriors have run, but I do know it's more than 3, Nate. Many more than 3. So we'll see what they're able to do here as they get set for their 2nd possession. And again, clean up the special teams a little bit. The first kickoff, no one seemed to want to pick it up. They had it bounce needlessly. They were pinned back. Get some better opening field position.
Yeah, and you wanna on the kickoff, you wanna give your offense as much room as to work with as possible. You wanna get them as far down the field as possible so that they can feel more comfortable and not feel as backed up. As the kick is off.
And it's a short kick, can be fielded about the 15-yard line. This time he's got some room to run as he cuts it back into the middle of the field. Tackled at about the 25-yard line. Nice hard run there by
Christopher Irving Jr.
Irving Jr., number 7. A little bit better field position than they had on the opening drive here, and we'll see what Mr. Quarterback Adam Awad has cooked up. Thanks. I'm getting it. I wanted to say Yusuf, but I knew it wasn't Yusuf. I'm like, what is his name? It's Adam. Sorry, Adam, if you're listening, watching this.
Yeah, and this drive you wanna have the offensive line do a lot better of a job than they did last time. You try and set up the passing game as Yusuf or Adam Awad isn't at quarterback.
No,
it's Jaden Whitehead.
Jaden Whitehead there,
on
number
the
8.
QB
he
sneak.
keeps it, gains about 2 or 3 yards in the play. Showing a different look. It looks like Adam Awad is going to come back in here.
Yeah, and you're just trying to give Adam Awad a little bit of a breather, calm him down, just trying to get everything back in order.
Yeah, it didn't look like Coach Winkle was really happy with his quarterback after that third down screen pass attempt fell incomplete. But I'm sure that wasn't a punishment situation. It's probably just a different look. So we'll see what they do here on second down and about 7 yards to go.
Yep.
Again, positive yardage. You want to avoid penalties. So coming out here, he's got a single back behind him. Jaden Whitehead again as the quarterback behind center. Out of the gun, back to throw. Swings it over.
Oh,
long bomb over. And that is caught.
Oh!
Excellent pass and caught inside the 30-yard line. A little razzle-dazzle here at Maine Memorial Stadium.
See every day. That was a very interesting passing formation that we have not seen from the Maine East Blue Demons all year.
So Jaden Whitehead does a backwards pass or a lateral almost. I don't even know if it would have been a forward pass to his quarterback, who's then able to rifle it deep downfield to Christopher Irving Jr., who makes a great catch. Excellent coverage by the Warriors. Just Irving Jr. wanted it more. Let's see how that changes momentum.
And if you're Maine East, that's the type of plays that you need right now, down 14. You need something to get your team back into it and give them the momentum. As the crowd seems to be into it now.
Set. Crowd's back into the game, as you said. This time, big tackle for a loss. Missed assignment there up front as trying to get his number. Maine West Warrior came untouched into the backfield. Big number 24 for the Warriors. Alexander Gorbenko able to get in there and stuff the run for a loss of about 5 yards, 6 yards. Second down, 16. So again, clean those things up. We mentioned this game was going to be won or lost in the trenches. You want to see more of a forward push by that offensive line.
And it looks like it's a single back set in the gun for Adam as they snap the ball.
Again, back to throw. Pass is caught for a short gain. Takes it inside the 40-yard line of the Warriors. Caught by Yusuf Awad.
And now it seems like you got to pass it on third down and long, which you don't really want. I think if that running play does go for positive yardage on the first play, it's a very different situation. But that's in the past.
Maybe in 4-down territory here. We'll see what they want to do. You're probably too far away for a field goal, and punting, you don't want to have it roll into the end zone. And we'll kind of see what they decide to do as we approach the end of the first quarter. This might be the last play. Back in the shotgun is Adam Awad, single back set, takes the snap, rolls to his right.
As he has a defender right on him.
And he throws it away incomplete.
And
hard tackle. Looks like he's okay. And
we'll see if the Maine East Blue Demons just try and punt it out of bounds, try and pin him back as far as they can. Or they go for it. You never know.
4th and 15 here coming up. So
looks like they're going for it.
You know, and why not? You're already down 2 scores. You got a good positive play.
Timeout.
You've shown you can complete the pass. Looks like they're going to talk it over here with a timeout. 7 seconds left to remain here in the first quarter of play. We'll get that first fourth down, then that'll be the quarter break here at Maine Memorial Stadium, where the Warriors lead the Blue Demons by a score of 14-0.
Very interesting to call the timeout when the quarter was just about to end anyway.
Yeah, clearly they just want to see what they want to do and what they wanted to draw up.
Yeah, and if you're Maine East, you really want to score here, but is it worth it going for it on fourth? Let's see.
We will have to see.
Looks like they're bringing their punter, number 34, out there, and, well, the kicker. He's also a running back, so you never know.
He's got a good leg, Lucio. Roa does, the senior.
Yeah, and
we'll see if he can kick directionally or if he can get some hang time or squib and get this ball to be pinned back so the Warriors have to start from deep in their own territory.
Ideally set him up for a safety.
Whistle on the play here. So the punter's knee hit the ground, and that means he's downed the ball. So Roa's knee hits the knee at the 48-yard line of Maine East, and that's where Maine West will take over. So
very
a
unfortunate.
Horrible break for the Maine East Blue Demons. Low snap, Roa tried to get it, knee touches the ground, and by rule, that's where the ball is taken to. So excellent field position here. Chance to pin him deep, and it backfired spectacularly. So number 5 there takes it off to the right. Good edge integrity there by the Blue Demons, able to tackle him for a short gain of about 3 yards.
And if you're the Blue Demons, your main priority is just limit the points, at least not a touchdown. If you give up a field goal, is what it is, but at least just hold them from getting a touchdown.
So that brings us to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 Maine West Warriors over the Maine East Blue Demons here at Maine Memorial Stadium. And I want to congratulate Coach Winkle on his first win earlier this year versus Round Lake, snapping a 42-game losing streak for the Maine East Blue Demons. It was a special night. And also, I've noticed that the local community has taken notice, which is pretty cool. I am a Chicago Bears fan, and as I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts about the Bears, the No Name Football podcast featuring former Bears All-Pro center and longtime Chicago Bear Olin Kreutz, along with fullback Jason McKee, had as a guest on their podcast Mr. Coach Bob Winkler. So that was really cool to have him be recognized by a Bear legend, quite honestly, in Olin Kreutz, who may one day wind up in the Hall of Fame, played for 12 hard years, All-Pro center for the Bears multiple seasons. Jason McKee, fullback on the team that went to the Super Bowl, and just a great guy as well. They both help out high school kids and coach in the Chicago area, and kind enough to have Coach Winkle join him here. On first down, Delaney's in trouble. He's back to throw, and he's going to try to get what he can. A couple of missed tackles there by the Blue Demons, able to get positive yardage, and he's finally brought down, flagged down on the play. And if you're Maine East, you're hoping for a hold. We'll see what the referee says. Otherwise, it's a gain of about 8.5 yards on first down.
Yeah, and you hate to have that happen. It's one thing if the QB is able to roll out, but to be able to break or move around that many defenders and break tackles, it's just not something you want to happen.
It is against the Warriors. It's going to be a holding call. Their second of the night. That'll back them up.
And it's really been the penalties that have killed, well, not killed Maine West, but on both of their drives they've had penalties to bring them back. But it seems to not be affecting them as much as a penalty usually would.
You're hoping that Maine East start taking advantage of some of these longer down and distances. Again, it's a spot foul as the hold, so because he was able to gain some yardage before the holding occurred, it's not going to be a first and 20. It's going to be a second down and 13 after the hold penalty. So a little bit of positive yardage. Again, just a bad way to end the quarter. If you're the Blue Demons, you have the unfortunate knee hit the ground on the punt, and instead of pinning them back, they're right at midfield here on second down at their own 49-yard line. Delaney in the gun, single back to his left.
As Maine East calls a timeout because
timeout Maine East.
As you can see, defensive coordinator not very happy with what he sees on that play, and obviously going to talk it over, and hopefully that doesn't happen because they only have one more timeout left, which is unfortunate for this early in the second quarter.
Happy to be back live with you. We are actually streaming on WMTH-TV. The huddle cam that the coaches use is actually being streamed live on the Maine East Athletics YouTube page. So that's why we were late getting to the game. Producer didn't realize that. We had to switch things over to WMTH-TV, but we're happy to be back live. Had some technical difficulties with our new system, but our cameras are brand new. The feed looks great. The graphics look much better. Very happy with our new equipment here. What say you, Nate?
I mean, I'm doing great tonight. You know, obviously the Fresh Off team had a disappointing loss against the the Maine West Warriors. As
2nd and 13, sets up a screen. That's going to be complete to Pittman, and no one is near him as he takes it all the way inside the 5-yard line and bullies his way into the end zone for a 51-yard catch and run. And just like that, it is a 20-0 Maine West lead. Screen pass was set up perfectly, blocked well downfield. There was no Blue Demon anywhere near him until he was well inside the 10-yard line, and then it looked like he might get held up. And it's been that kind of night here at Maine Memorial Stadium.
Just hate to have that happen. Another touchdown. As we said, you know, you can't, or you can only rely on your defense for so long because they get tired, things happen. There's going to be little mistakes like that happen in your offense.
Snap is back, kick is down, hold is down, kick is up and good. And it is 21-0 here at Maine Memorial Stadium. And the Blue Demons have dug themselves a big hole here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how they come back from this. If you're the offense, you have to score on this. Got to give some life back to your defense. Hopefully a long drive, and you never know. Still have a lot left to play, and if we score here, get a stop, score again, halftime we get the ball back. But that's obviously a lot to ask for.
Screen pass can be so devastating. If you're Maine East, you know that you're getting beat up front in the trenches, so you're trying to be aggressive. And aggressiveness can sometimes lead to over pursuit. You let those rushers come in, and then you just dump it in behind them, and then there's no one home. And just like that, it's to the house. Want to remind everybody that the homecoming dance is tomorrow night. Tickets are still available online. They're $25. Had a great week of homecoming here at Maine East High School. Theme was Alice in Wonderland. And the kick is short and caught by number 1 as he takes it up past the 30-yard line of Maine East. I'm not sure who number 1 is for Maine East. Alan Vujic with the reception. So 1st down and 10 yards to go here. Blue Demons at their 34. And they had a good positive pass play. The last possession weren't able to cash in. We'll see what they can do here. They just haven't possessed the ball long enough to really have any sort of assessment as to how they're going to be performing. As Yusuf takes it, there's a flag on the play. Hard tackle, fumble. Of course, the Warriors are saying they have it. There's been no signal yet by the judges, and we have a flag on the play, which makes me think it was a rough tackle. It looked like it might have been a face mask. We'll see what the officiating crew says here. There's been no indication as to who has possession. Early indication, though, is the penalty is against the Warriors, and it is a face mask. That's what I thought it looked like. Adam Awa was tackled hard, and I saw his head come back. And once I saw the flag hit, I thought it might have been a face mask. So instead of a fumble going the other way, it's a 15-yard penalty. Move the ball forward any way you can.
Yep, gotta take what you can get at this point right now. You gotta think that they're gonna try and hammer the ball down the throats of the Maine West Warriors and try and get that get the running game set up, as that's one of their goals coming into this game.
So 1st and 10 right at midfield. As Adam looks to the sideline, now takes hands, turns to his brother. He's stuffed right up there for a loss of about 2 yards on the play.
Just haven't been able to get the running game.
It's very clear that the Maine West Warriors are stout up the middle, both offensively and defensively. So if you're Maine East, you might want to try some misdirection, try the edges here, because to run right between the center guard
has
not worked. Big number 72 kind of holding down the nose. There's been some free rushers that have come through as well here in the early on. So you want to see what you're going to get here at 2nd and 11 after the loss of 1. Out of the gun, back to throw. Got a little bit of time. Now he's getting pursued, and he rolls out, and he's going to be sacked for a loss at the 40, bringing up 3rd down and 20.
And
good pursuit by the defense. I think Adam thought he was going to be able to outrun that pursuer and never really attempted to throw the ball away, and he was tackled for the sack.
Yeah, and if you're Adam, you just got to keep composed. They're probably going to go for a deep pass right here. Just take it one play at a time. Can't go in the pass, so just look to the future and make better hopefully not get sacked on this play.
So 3rd down and 19, we'll call it. Ball at the 41. Back to pass again. He sets us up the screen. Makes one man miss. Breaks a couple of tackles, but it's all for naught. And he is tackled, and looks like ground caused the fumbled. But they maintain possession. Ball goes out of bounds. I think the ground caused the fumble anyway. So
yeah,
it's going to be 4th down again.
Just have not been able to get anything going on the offensive side by Maine East.
But again, that's the 2nd time I've seen a rusher come completely free, and I don't know if that was by design to set up that screen pass.
Yeah,
I hope it was, because that was a big man that came through that line, and he was not touched.
Yeah, I'm pretty more than likely it was by design from the screen passes. The punt goes away.
That time we have a clean snap, not a low one. Fumble is on the ground and loose, and it looks like the Demons have recovered it. Nope, Maine West is, early indications Maine West has the ball. That would have been a game-changing play. It was a muffed punt reception by the Warriors. That becomes a live ball by rule, but Maine West able to maintain possession. I was looking at Coach Winkle, who was frantically gesturing his arm towards Maine East, but the official saw it differently, and it's going to be Maine West ball.
As that would have been the play that Maine East needed.
Yep,
they need to get some points on the board.
At about their 28-yard line is where Maine West will start, just inside of 8 minutes to go here in the first half of play.
And if you're the defense, the defense has not been able to get one stop so far, as you want to change that right now as the pass is complete and it's a 1st down.
Yeah, off the slant pass there, gain of about 11, and good tackling, but again, big chunk plays here have been killing the Blue Demons here all night as the chains move again here.
Yeah, and if you're Maine East, you want to at least try and change something up front, because it starts and ends in the trenches. And if you're Maine East, you want to get some pressure on that quarterback, because he has not been touched at all today.
So Maine East looks to bring pressure, and this is blown dead, so it's a false start against somebody. This time offsides. Looks like the blitzer must have got into the neutral zone, so that's going to be a 5-yard penalty against the Blue Demons. I will say this, that is their first penalty against them, I believe, the whole game, so they've been a bit more disciplined tonight, but you need something else to complement that discipline. You need some points or you need some stops.
Yeah, and you want to at least get your offense some pretty good field position, whether that be if you get a turnover, a punt return, anything you can get, really.
So out of the gun, off tackle, number 25 is taken down.
And it seems like that's been the first play where the running back has not been looking like he has all the space in the world.
Kevin Martinez, number 75 for the Blue Demons, was taken down hard, stayed down for a second, but he looks like he's okay. A little slow to get up. We'll keep an eye on that. Warriors have a second down and about 2 yards to go here. The clock continues to run. 6.5 minutes left to go here in the first half. Second down and 2. 25's got it. This time Maine East is ready for him.
Just
and
can't
just
tackle
not
him.
able to bring him down.
As
And there's a flag that comes in.
Oh, and it looks like he's getting up.
We'll see what the flag is. Early indications looks like it might be a face mask, which means even more yardage being taken. Number 25 runs hard and with a lot of heart. Number 25, Onell Miller-Smith for the Warriors. Impressive running. Ran through at least 4 Blue Demons on his way to some tough yardage, but gets the first down and then a face mask to boot, which is going to take the ball all the way. It looks like a 5-yard variety face mask, not the personal one, so incidental contact. But it still means a first down and ball at the 40.
And number 11 for the Maine East Blue Demons looks like he's limping off the field, holding his hamstring, and hopefully he's able to get back in the game really soon. On
the rollout, has time to throw, rifles it down, falls incomplete. Intended for number 5 of the Blue Demons, overthrown there. Aboulied is the intended receiver on that. Again, impressed with number 12, the quarterback, Delaney, for the Warriors. Comfortable throwing on the run. It seems to prefer it. I don't think I've seen too many passes where he's just dropped back and thrown it. He's tended to run either to his left or his right.
Yeah, it seems like that's all they do on the passing. They roll out to either the left or the right, and usually have a trips on that side so that they have more receivers, and usually one of them's open for a pass.
So second down and 10. Kind of a bunch set, high snap, gives again to number 25. That time he's going to be tackled, but not before he takes it 10 yards to a first down. Number 25, Miller-Smith, gets ahead of steam going, and he's running hard. And if you're Maine East, you got to be tackling him low and wrapping up and taking him to the ground because he showed some elusiveness. He comes off the field. He looks like he might have gotten a little bit injured here.
Yeah, and Maine East really needs to get a turnover here or something to get their offense back in it. They need to score because then they get the ball right back at halftime. With 5 minutes left to go in the quarter or before halftime, you just need something to go your way so that something can just turn the tide in your favor.
This time on the blitz, going after Delaney, but wide open. Keeps his eyes down the field and able to complete the pass. Takes it inside the 10-yard line. It's going to be first and goal to go for the Warriors. Wide receiver.
And that's not
Pittman.
Something you needed on that play. That is
21-yard gain. They had a good blitz pressure on him, but Delaney kept his cool, found the open man, and able to get a first and goal to go situation.
Very good quality in a quarterback. You want someone who can stare down pressure and still look down the field, complete the open pass. But if you're Maine East, you really needed the sack there.
This time gives him to Pittman, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Maine West Warriors. Isaac Pittman, the running back, goes untouched, and just like that, 27-0 here at Maine Memorial Stadium. 4.5 minutes to go in the first half. And Maine West is running away with this game during Homecoming Friday.
Really, Maine East really needs some points here. Something to swing the game in their favor. Because if they score here, you got to think that's a big confidence booster going into halftime. And you never know if they score here, score at halftime. It's 27, barring the extra point, 28. But you just need something to swing the game back in your
Snap
favor.
is back, hold is good, and the kick is up and through.
Yeah, but you never know. Score here, score after halftime, 28-14, you're right back in the game. But you just need something to go your way here.
Yeah, agreed. It's been a really tough half of play here for the Blue Demons. There's really been only one positive play. The the long pass there off of the lateral from Whitehead to Awad, able to complete it far downfield, but then, of course, wasn't able to complete a first down after that. Thought maybe you'd pin them back deep, but then punter's knee hits the ground, leads to another score, and yeah, just Maine East has just been hit by a bulldozer here, and you're hoping they can get a stop or some points, something to turn this momentum even slightly into their favor. Want to remind you all that during halftime, there'll be performances by the Maine East Blue Demon Regiment. It is homecoming. Took a while to get people into the stadium, but it looks pretty full now. Earlier game time start, didn't start at 7, was started at 6 o'clock. And starting to lose light here as the lights take full effect. Great night for football, especially if you're the players. Nice and cool out there, but not cold. And the kick comes back, nice kick. And they're going to let that fall into the end zone for a touchback. Maine East will receive their ball at their own 20 with about 4 minutes and 33 seconds left in the first half of play.
Yeah, you need something to go your way. I've been saying it for so long. You just need something.
If you didn't know, folks, Nate Kleiber is on the JV football team. That sound you're hearing is heart.
Yeah.
He desperately wants something to go well for his team, and why not? Obviously, we want good things to happen for the Blue Demons, and we'll see what will happen here.
You know, it's just gotta keep calm on the offense. Not let the game rattle you too much. You know, just keep composed, keep confident.
Well, and again, to me, if you're able to do some boots and some waggles and get him out, he's been getting pressure up the middle from all different spots. Nice attempt there by number 34 for Roa, but it falls incomplete. Again, like, it's just, you know, Nate, you said at the beginning of the game, battle's won in the trenches, and if you're Maine West, you're winning the battle of the trenches on both sides of the ball. Football is a very simple game when you break it down a lot of times, and you're seeing what happens when you have a defensive line that can generate pressure and an offensive line that can block pressure. You get a score that leads to this.
Yeah, and it's just not looking very good for the Maine East Blue Demons.
All right, so Adam Watt out of gun. 2-back set. Big fullback. Turns, gives. Nice block. And fumbled on the football. Yusuf Awad fumbled the ball.
Oh.
And possession to Maine West.
That is the opposite of what needed to happen.
Agreed.
On that drive.
Agreed. I was excited about that run initially because you had big 34 in there. Lucio Roa had a good block as a fullback, opened up a little bit of a lane, but someone crashed down, able to get the ball out of Awad's hands. And now you've got a turnover, and turnovers are momentum killers, momentum changers, and just like that, Maine West has a short field.
Yeah, and
out of the gun, back to throws. Delaney winds up, finds his man, complete to number 5, into the end zone. Turnover, one play, and he's in.
Yeah, that's
Abubed
unfortunate.
on the touchdown, and it is now a 34-0 lead.
You want
2 scores in less than a minute for the Maine West Warriors.
that's gonna kill the Blue Demons heading into halftime. You wanted something to go their way going into halftime, and the opposite is happening. It's not looking very good.
Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up and good. And it is a 35-point Maine West lead here at Maine Memorial Stadium.
And it's just something needs to go right for the Maine East Blue Demons, because so far on the offensive side, it seems like nothing's been going right for the Blue Demons, as it looks like 74 Nico Jones has been practicing snaps with the quarterback Adam Awad. It looks like he's going to be going in for center because it appears there's an injury to number 75, their center Kevin Martinez.
Yeah, I saw 75 earlier. I think when he was does he play both ways? Is he on defense as well?
I think so.
Yeah, I think I saw him defensively earlier He stayed down on the ground, got up, shook it off, and must have, I don't know if that was when he got injured or if it got to aggravate, he got aggravated or whatever. So backup center is probably not a good sign considering the way the lines are playing for Maine West, although sometimes you never know. Sometimes you can get somebody in that can make a difference here as Maine West kicks off. A little bit of a squib kick, fielded by number 7 at the 10-yard line. He's got a bit of a seam, takes it up past the 25-yard line, just shy of the 30 for the Blue Demons.
Yep, Chris Irving Jr., the sophomore, a very game-changing player.
Yeah, he runs fast. He's definitely got some quicks. You can see that, and he's able to kind of slash his way up there. I thought he might have a bigger seam than he did, but we'll see what Maine East can do here.
Yeah.
This has been a long minute. It's been between 5 and 4 minutes for a long time. There's still technically 4 minutes, 4 seconds. Just to give you an idea, the last possession that Maine East had started with 4 minutes and 33 seconds to go. It's now 4 minutes and 4 seconds, so just that much is all it's taken to get the turnover and the score there for the Warriors. But we'll see if they can get some positive momentum going here in the half.
Hopefully the new center can shake some things up, get the offense the new kick it needs.
Yusuf Awad in motion. This time they do roll him out. Pressure is coming. Intended for Jonathan Matthew with Blue Demon Sports, and falls incomplete.
Yeah, it's just not looking good right now. It seems like the running plays just get stopped at the line of scrimmage or go for negative yards. The passing plays, there's immediate pressure where they either get sacked or it's an incompletion, and you don't want to keep trying the passing plays because you don't want an interception, because don't want any more turnovers.
Yeah, it's no one wants to talk about blocking, but it's very important in football. And right now, they're just not doing a good enough job blocking the penetrating defense, and it's getting their quarterback under pressure and stuffing the run lanes as well. Turns, takes, and again, tackled for a loss. Looks like that was number 1 there on the who's number 1?
Number 1 is Alan Vujic.
And
it looks like the starting quarterback, number 12, Adam Awad, is getting looked at by the trainers, which is why they have number 8, Jaden Whitehead, out on the field.
Well, this will be kind of interesting to take a look at. Jaden Whitehead has had a couple of good plays. One of the catalysts for the one spark Maine East did have, where he was able to lateral it back to Adam Awad for their long completion. And now he will take snaps behind center out of the gun. One sack to his, going back to his right, back to throw. Lines up and rifles it over. Intended, falls incomplete. Pretty nice pass, but intended for number 2 of the Blue Demons, for Timothy Cato, just not able to corral that in.
Yeah, and it was tough. Looked like he was in tight coverage, maybe even double coverage. And it's now 4th and 10, and the Maine East Blue Demons have to punt the ball again, and it's just not something you want to happen.
It is not.
Because to win this game, the Maine East Blue Demons are going to have a hell of a second half.
Indeed they will. You're going to see what happens here. They're going to punt it. There was a muffed punt last time around. Maine West ended up recovering. Let's see if they can get the ball out of their hands now. Because if you're Maine East, you need a turnover. You need something big to change some sense of momentum in this game. Instead, it's a very short punt off the side of his foot, and that's going to fall at the 46-yard line of Maine East. So excellent field position for the Warriors. Game is just really turned. Like, yeah, Roja is normally pretty sure-footed as a kicker, but that one just fell off the side of his foot, and doesn't get any sort of not a good punt.
Seems like everything that can go wrong is going wrong right now for the Maine East Blue Demons. They can't get anything going. Very unfortunate to watch.
And so now, if you're Maine East, you want to try to get to the locker room and see what adjustments, if any, you can make here. Delaney's back, takes it to 25, and he's already got a first down and more. Bounces it off, and he's finally pushed out of bounds right at about the 20-yard line of Maine East.
I think the big thing you're gonna want to change is gotta be able to tackle, gotta be able to stop the running game, gotta have some pressure on the quarterback and the running back, and just stifle their offense so you can give your offense the best position to comeback. It's going to be a very big comeback, but maybe if your defense can get quite a bit of stops, then maybe you can come back in this game.
Again, O'Neill gets the ball. He's really shifty, gets the first down and more. I'm really impressed by number 25 tonight for the Warriors, O'Neill Miller-Smith. He runs with power. He's got some elusiveness. And again, they've found something there on that right side. And again, it's not just tackling. It's they're getting blown off the ball. And that's just such a huge problem. They're playing way too much on their side of the line of scrimmage. Are the Blue Demons? If you're number 25, I mean, he's had some good tough runs. Don't get me wrong, but he's also not been touched until he's 5, 6, 7, 8 yards past the original line of scrimmage, and that's just not good. They got to start getting a little bit more push up front so they can allow their players to tackle. Number 5 receives, and now he's in again for the touchdown. Again, off the right side, they haven't been able to stop it. They found it, and they're just going to keep doing it. That time on the touchdown, number 5, Adam Obibiad for the Warriors, and it is a 41-0 lead here. Just over 2 minutes left to play in the first half.
It's just a very unfortunate thing to see from the Maine East Blue Demons side of things. And if you're the Maine West Warriors, everything seems to be going your way this game. Just all the little things that can go wrong for the Blue Demons are going wrong for the Blue Demons. And if
snap is back, kick is up and through, and that takes it to 42-0. And it has been all Warriors here at Maine Memorial Stadium.
Very unfortunate, and it's just not looking very good for the Blue Demons.
It is not, honestly, to me, if you're Coach Winkle, your focus now has to shift. So you're probably not going to win the game. So what can you do to show something positive on the field for these fans that are here for homecoming? What do you got? What can you do that will lead to some positive plays and give this team a little bit of something positive to happen prior to the end of the half? Keep in mind, they will receive the ball here. If there is a chance they could score before halftime, they would receive the ball to open the second half of play as Maine West got the opening possession. And I believe Maine West has scored on every single possession. So
6 touchdowns kind of puts it into perspective.
Kind of says it all, really, doesn't it there, Nate? Yeah, I would agree.
Usually 6 touchdowns just by itself will win you a football game, especially with their defense playing as lights out as it has been.
As a Bears fan, someday I hope that my team I love that can score 6 touchdowns. It would be nice.
Maybe in a season.
Yeah, right. All right, kick again, the squib kicks, and haven't been able to catch it cleanly, but number 7's got it, and he's tackled inside the 20, just past the 15-yard line. So not great field position here for the Blue Demons. Yeah, these little squib kicks that they've been doing, it's been kind of messing with how they've been able to field and receive these kicks. As Chris Irving Jr., I don't know if he's just frustrated or if he got hurt a little bit. I think he injured himself a little bit on that play, and he's limping off the field.
And with the cold weather, it's kind of underestimated that very little bumps and bruises can feel a lot more impactful due to the cold weather.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's not overly chilly right now, but yeah, it's definitely, again, it's a lot different than it was here a couple weeks ago when it was 22 degrees warmer. It was about 85 degrees here on the field. Of course, then we had people getting cramped left and right. So, all right, that was a give to Adam Awad. Gets tackled after a short game. Call it maybe a yard and a half. And we'll do it again here as we are now inside of 2 minutes left to play here in the first half.
And even if it's just a field goal, the Blue Demons just need something to go into the half with, just to say we did something, we can build off this. Maybe not win the game, but just not roll over and get that never say die attitude.
This time under center is quarterback and number 34, big number 34, the fullback, and Roa there gets the kicker, gets the handoff, gets some positive yardage, gain of about 4, setting up 3rd down and 7 yards to go.
It feels like the drive just started and it's already a 3rd down. It's not. That's kind of the day it's been for Maine East.
You know, it's not a bad idea, though. I might start, you know, they've been getting so much push on both sides of the line. You might want to try feeding their bigger bodied backs to see if they can push back and get some blocks. Yeah, I see 34 is the tailback in the I formation here. Again, they're going to try to do some power running, looks like the Blue Demons, see if they can get some push and get this 1st down on 3rd and 7. Turns, gives to number 34. Again, get some momentum going, gains a couple more.
And it's going to be interesting.
Fourth down and 4.
It's going to be interesting to see how Maine East plays this. Whether they're going to try and be aggressive, go down the field right here, or just let it go into the half.
My guess is they're going to let it go into half, and that's exactly what they're going to do as they head to the locker room. Here at Maine Memorial Stadium, the score is 42-0 in favor of the Maine West Warriors. That's going to do it for us for half. We'll be back to give you the 3rd quarter of action in just a few short minutes. welcome back. Getting ready for the third quarter of play here at Maine Memorial Stadium. In spite of the score, it's homecoming weekend. The crowd is hopping right now after a performance from Blue Demon Regiment, the cheerleading squad, and Demon squad. We're back for the third quarter of play with the score 42-0. The Maine West Warriors over the Maine East Blue Demons.
And if you're the Maine East Blue Demons, you gotta do something to win in the trenches, because that's the main thing that was the problem in the first half. They couldn't win in the trenches on the defensive side, and then on the offensive side, they were letting immediate pressure in on their running back and their quarterback. So that's got to change if they want any chance of coming back in this game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of adjustments Coach Winkle is able to make here as we get ready to kick it off. Because, yeah, I mean, you said it, Nate. I mean, it's they were just beaten on both sides of the ball, up front primarily, in the trenches, the offensive and defensive lines, and it just led to a long, long first half of play. So, and right now with them up 40, we will have a running clock, so this game is going to go faster than it would have if the score wasn't so out of reach. As that ball falls into the end zone for the touchback, and the Blue Demons will start the second half at their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, and it's just and on offense, I think they're going to try and keep going with the running game because they don't want to put too much pressure on their quarterback. Because as we did see in the first half, he did come off the field with some type of injury. We do not know what it is, but it looks like his hand is wrapped up. So it's going to be interesting how that affects their play calling, whether they're going to put in Jaden Whitehead, which it looks like they're doing.
Yeah, were you able to see, so that's his throwing hand, you think, there, Nate?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's a righty or lefty, but it looks like he's out on the field, and it'll be interesting if they just try and hammer the ball down the down Maine.
Nice hole
Maine
there
West's
off
throat.
tackle, and Adam Awad, number 3, looks like he's able to take and gain some positive yardage, get about 8 yards, call it 9 yards actually here on the Yusuf Awad here in the first play. So a good running play there brings up second and short for the Blue Demons.
Yeah, and that run was good. It's a very big change from the first half to the second half. Immediately almost the first down. It looks like a 9-yard run. Looks like why not keep going straight to it.
So again, they're running some I formation.
No, it looks like they're gonna
blockers.
pass.
Nice
A
pocket.
deep pass, a nice spiral, and it's intercepted.
Hard to tell. I couldn't tell. Is he inbounds? And it looks like he is. And so that's going to be an interception. And just like that, 2 plays, Maine West retains possession, or takes possession, pardon me. Yeah, it's unfortunate. That was probably one of the first times I thought that there was a clean pocket for the Blue Demons. So, yeah, just a shame that they got to turn the ball over.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. I don't know if you can hear the drop in my voice. Because, I mean, deep passes are fun, but as we can see there, they're very risky with the interceptions.
All right, so we'll see here. Looks like they have a backup quarterback in for the Warriors. Number 9 tosses to number 4, and tries to bounce it again to the right, taking that same play that they had such success with in the first half of play. They really found something on the right-hand side of the line for the Warriors, and they were able to just get chunks and chunks and chunks of yards on the ground whenever they wanted it, seemingly at will, especially in the second quarter. But that was only a pickup of 2, so it'll be second down and 8. Who you have for the backup quarterback for the Warriors, Nate?
The Warriors have 3 quarterbacks, and
number 4. So number 4, Velasco, keeps it and runs for some positive yardage, and he's taken down after a gain of about 3, bringing up third down and about 5.
And if the Blue Demons do get a stop here, it'll be the first defensive stop of the game, I'm pretty sure.
Might have been a fumble on the play, but it was retained by the Warriors, so nothing doing there, and that's going to bring up third and short. So, yeah, Blue Demons have not stopped the Warriors all night, so we'll see what what they can come up with here and see if they can get a stop and a punt after their turnover.
Yeah, and that kind of says all that you need to know about the game. The Blue Demons have not been able to stop the Warriors at all in this game.
So again, shotgun snap, and Velasco has got the first down as he is tackled at about the 40-yard line of the Blue Demons.
Yeah, it's just not been going the Blue Demons' way. Everything that can go wrong did go wrong in the first half, as you can see by the score, 42-0. And the very interesting part is that them being down this much hasn't even been a part of the penalties, because they've only had like 1 or 2 penalties the entire game, and they've been, or maybe 3, but they've been playing very disciplined football. It's just not been going their way.
That is the lone bright spot if you're looking for one, is that, they have not had any penalties. There's takes and turns, this time going to the left, and that's going to be stuffed up. Nice play there for a loss behind the line of scrimmage there.
Tackle by Jaden Whitehead.
Jaden Whitehead there, tackle number 17, Jonathan Duras, the ball carrier, the junior wide receiver linebacker. But yeah, there's only been a couple of penalties, so maybe 3 actually. I know they had a 5-yard face mask and I think maybe a false start or whatever. But for the most part, compared to what we've seen, I mean, even in their victory against Round Lake, there were so many penalties that game. And so it's nice to see that stuff's been cleaned up, but it just doesn't do much good when you're getting beaten off the ball so bad on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and I think all the keys that the Blue Demons wanted to do in the beginning of the game have not been going their way. They wanted to set up the run game on their side of the ball and stop the run game on their opponent's side of the ball, and both of those things has not been happening. They wanted to set up the trenches and both sides of the ball. Has not happened, and they wanted to let their skill position shine, which lead them to the victory, which has not happened.
So we have a 3rd and long. The draw play only gained 2 yards, and they were already back. So this is a 3rd and 11. So can Maine East get off the field? And looks to throw, and that's going to fall incomplete.
Second,
so
fourth
we'll
down
bring
in the
up
game.
4th down. And at this point, you would expect the Warriors to punt, considering what the score is and what they're up by. So 4th down and 11.
And you never know. Maybe they try and go for it. Keep that streak alive.
Yep. So we'll see what happens.
And it looks like they are going for it, trying to keep the streak alive of them not getting stopped.
I'm not sure I agree with this. I mean, I'm not sure what you're trying here. Maybe you're trying to get some of your backup players some experience, but it's 4th down. Why not punt the ball, considering the score? But this is a rivalry. These are 2 teams that don't particularly like each other very much. Back to throw is number 9, and makes the reception and gaining some positive yardage, and he's got the first down. Excellent block there on the outside by the Warriors. Could not shake it loose was that Blue Demon defender, and believe it or not, that moves the chains, and it is a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line of Maine East.
Yeah, and that's just it really sucks the soul out of a team converting on 4th down. Did in the first drive, did in this drive.
Yeah, 2 4th downs, they converted them both, and the first one led to a touchdown, and obviously the second one is trending in that direction as they are just inside the 30-yard line, called the 29-yard line of Maine East here. In the gun, single back formation, tosses it over to number 4. He's got some room off the outside. Nice tackle. Nice bottle up there. Looked like he might have some room to run. Ball comes out, but they're going to say that the ground caused the fumble. I think the whistle had already blown, so there is no fumble on the play, but there is a flag, and it is early indication against, and it's going to be a holding against the Warriors, which makes sense. Usually if you string a run out that side and you're just behind the line of scrimmage, behind the side of the looking for a cut, and you're running sidewise so much, typically there's going to be a hold. So
yeah,
that's going to back them up, going to take them basically back to where they were for that 4th down play. They lose about 10 yards, and they'll do it again.
Yeah, and I don't really know what the game plan is here, whether they pass or run. Quarter's almost over. There's only 4 minutes left in the quarter.
Yeah, I
of that
mean,
running clock.
I think they're just trying to get their younger players some experience. They've got some backups in now, the skill position players. Number 22, the carrier, and he's going to get stuffed and tackled. Looks like no gain on the play. Gain maybe of a half yard. So, second down and long.
So I'm pretty sure they're probably going to pass. Maybe an outside run. It seems like the Blue Demons haven't been able to stop the outside run.
Well, they've been getting a little bit better with it here. They've been going to the left, and that time they ran to the left a couple of times, and it seemed like Maine did a better job of kind of stringing that out, able to draw the holding call. But it's been that right side that's been susceptible. Every time they've run to the right, it seems like good things have happened for the Warriors. So here we go, second down and 20. Out of the gun. Pass is incomplete, intended for number 18 of the Warriors.
And
Alec Cornish.
Third and long, probably going to pass it like they just did. It'll probably – we haven't really, besides the first quarterback, we haven't seen the rollout passes, which were so effective in the first half. Maybe they go to that.
I mean, possibly, but again, you roll out passes and being comfortable throwing on the run is probably more specific to what type of quarterback you've got. Now that they've got the backup in, it'll be interesting to see if they continue to do those things or not. So third down and 20. Just about 2.5 minutes left here in the third quarter to play. Maine showing blitz. This time they do roll out the quarterback back to throw. Open man, but it falls incomplete, intended for number 17, Jonathan Duras, but there is a flag on the play. It is a personal foul against the Blue Demons.
Very unfortunate, not something you want to see. Because it's, like I said,
call it as roughing the passer. So again,
everything that seems to everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for the Maine Blue Demons tonight.
You heard him said it a couple times here, folks. But yeah, you're absolutely right. And again, if you're Maine East, sorry, we had an incident happening here in the crowd, so apologize for the little interruption. But yeah, you're looking at, you're trying to over-pursue. You're trying to make a play if you're the defense. You just want something positive to happen. And I don't think it was probably an aggressive roughing the passer as much as it was just trying to get something to happen that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Undisciplined, and just like that, it's first down and 10 to go here at about the 22-yard line of Maine East. Out of the gun. Quarterback keeps it, and he's going to get stuffed after a gain of about 2 yards, maybe 1.5, bringing up second down and 9. As we are inside of a minute left to play in the third quarter.
Hard to believe it, considering how slow the first two halves went. I mean, not the first two. The first two quarters went, but this quarter's almost over with.
Yeah, I mean, with the running clock, everything tends to go a lot faster. They're not going to stop it unless there's an injury, really, at this point. Or Maine East starts to come back into the football game and gets, lessens that deficit a little bit.
But considering how the offense has not been considering how the offense has been struggling to get stuff going through the first 3 quarters of the game, doesn't look very likely that they're going to get back into this game.
Nice little misdirection play there. Thomas Camo had that sniffed out for the Blue Demons, wasn't able to bring the ball carrier down, and I know he's a little frustrated. That's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter. The score remains 42-0, Maine West over Maine East here at Maine Memorial Stadium. It's homecoming weekend as we go to the fourth quarter. What are your homecoming plans, Nate?
I mean, besides doing this, I'm just going to go to the homecoming dance and
all right,
figure it out.
You got like a sweet suit going on, or like what are you gonna?
I'm gonna wear a rubber ducky shirt with a collar on it.
Are you really?
Yes.
That's awesome. Is the rubber ducky shirt actually made of rubber?
No.
That's too bad. I feel like any rubber ducky shirt should have a little bit of rubber in it, or at least latex, which is a form of rubber.
I think that would be a little bit more uncomfortable to wear, but yeah.
Okay.
And something interesting on the sidelines, Coach Winkle did invite all the sophomores from the fresh soft team to stand on the sidelines. So if you see the kids in the different jerseys on the sidelines, That's why.
I appreciate you pointing that out. I have seen a couple of sophomores that I've noticed, just students that I've known. So that's a cool gesture by Coach
Yeah.
Winkle.
And then
as we get set to begin the fourth quarter.
And then, as I said in the Round Lake game, there is a surplus of sophomores on the team from the freshman team last year, which just shows that there's a lot more youth, a lot more hunger to win, and we saw it in the Round Lake game, and hopefully we can see it in the last quarter of this game.
We'll see what happens here as the fourth quarter gets set to go. It's going to be 3rd down and 6 for the Warriors. Quarterback takes, and he's trying for the outside, coming in for the tackle, but not before he gets the first down. Taking it all the way inside the 10-yard line. It's going to be a 1st and goal to go situation. Yusuf Awad there on the tackle. And, one of the things I hope if you're in the Maine East football program is hoping to build a program.
Yeah.
So many students are playing on both sides of the ball, and it's just really taxing. If you've got a deficit of, if you're not as talented as the other team, and you're also then playing both sides, you're just gassed all the time. Just getting some numbers would be good. So here we go, 1st down and goal.
Yeah, that has been the focus of Coach Winkle and all the coaches, just to build a program in Maine East, try and get as many kids out on the football field as soon as possible, just so that they can coach them up. And that's why the summer camps for the Maine East Blue Demons are so important.
So Pertenko there with sideways pass to Franceschi, who cuts it in, but gets next to no gain. Some nice tackling there by Maine East, bringing up 2nd down, goal to goal, as we are into the 4th quarter of play. We may be back with you in a week. We have another football game here at home. Who's the next week's opponent, Nate?
It is Niles North.
Playing the Niles North Vikings. So WMTH Park Ridge may be right here back with you. Hands off number 4, and he is tackled after a minimal gain, maybe about 2 yards, call it 1 yard, bringing up 3rd down and goal. So Maine East defense starting to tighten here a little bit in the second half of play.
And something very interesting, last year the freshman team for the Maine East Blue Demons beat the Niles North Vikings 38-0.
Well, that is interesting because everybody's a year older, right? So you kind of see if any of that stuff starts to take effect into the varsity end of the spectrum. So that is a positive. Thanks for bringing that up as we continue on here. All right, we'll see if Maine East can make a stop here as they're facing a 3rd and goal to go situation. Out of the gun, back to throw. That pass is going to be intercepted.
Hey.
Now they're calling it incomplete. Nice break on the ball. And I know that number 5 really wanted that one, Samuel Lakudis.
And Sam is a senior. He hasn't been able to play in the game so far because he did suffer an injury during a practice to his knee. And this is his first game back, his homecoming game.
Good to see him back on the field. Yeah, he needs to just complete the play, make the interception. He was in great position for it. He almost had it. Finish that play and turn a positive play into a great play. Batted pass. That might be a live ball as it's behind the line of scrimmage. And the referee is ruling it incomplete. That was a sideways pass, almost a lateral, but the officiating crew decided there was enough forward momentum. And it's going to be a turnover on downs. Nice job batting the ball there by the Maine East Blue Demons. I didn't see who batted it, but nice job.
That is the Maine East Blue Demons' first time stopping the Maine West Warriors this game.
That's good news. The bad news is it comes with 8 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter.
And you're down 42-0.
That's true, but we take what we can get here at Maine Memorial Stadium from time to time. And so the Maine East Blue Demons are going to take over deep in their own territory. Ball is at, looks like about their own 8-yard line. Or ball on call it the 9-yard line of Maine East. Under center, again, they're running more of the I formation. Number 1. And that is unbelievably so, that is a fumble on the play, and that is recovered by the Maine West Warriors. My goodness.
Oh, my gosh. I've been saying this a lot during this game.
Say it again, Nate. Let him know.
Everything
Let him know.
Everything that can go wrong in this game has been going wrong. We get a stop on defense, fumble the ball on offense. It's just
It's not been our night, has it?
it's just one of those games where you just put your face in your hands and just sigh.
Yep,
It's
yep.
just it's just not. You know, there's always next week.
There's always next week. There's always another game. It's a good way to look at it. You got to try to put this one in your rearview mirror for the Maine East Blue Demons. So clock continues to run, and after the turnover, Maine West gets it right back. They can get a first down before they get into the end zone, so it is a 1st and 10 situation. Ball was advanced to about the 12-yard line before the turnover. There's a timeout on the field by Maine West. The score is 42-0. It's about 7 minutes left to go in the game.
Yeah, it's just this game has just not been going very well for the Maine East Blue Demons. Hopefully they can get a stop here. Hopefully they don't score 50 on us. That would not be very nice.
We'll see, and hoping that we'll have an update maybe before the game ends to find out if the Maine East soccer team has managed to capture the CSL crown. They're taking on Vernon Hills. I don't know, Nate, if you want to check that score.
Yeah, I'll check on 8-18 the athletic app for our Maine East Blue Demons.
Yeah, in case you're not aware, the soccer team for the Maine East Blue Demons has been off to a phenomenal year, winning some tournaments, but they're undefeated in CSL North play. Have a chance to, and there's a fumble on the play, and that's going to be, looks like it's recovered by Maine West, but it was just a bobble and a drop there, a mishandle on the pitch. That was Muhim. That was number 22 on that fumble, Patrick O'Brien. So going to bring up 2nd and 13. So Maine West is going backwards here on this possession. Anyway, Maine East, their soccer team been dominating the CSL North where they are undefeated. Not only are they undefeated, they have not allowed a goal against them in CSL North play. So they have a chance to capture the CSL crown for the first time in over 20 years here tonight if they can defeat Vernon Hills. Number 29, the ball carrier, gets tackled. Nice tackle and wrap up there right at the line of scrimmage by number 3 by Yusuf Awad. Got to hand it to the Awad brothers, both Yusuf and Adam. They play with a lot of heart. And so we'll see what happens now, down to 3rd and 10. Just inside of 6 minutes to go in the game. My partner here is furiously checking soccer scores to find out what the game might tell here.
It doesn't seem like it's showing.
Okay, fair enough.
The final results.
Yep. Well, it may not have gone to final. It might be in progress. So.
Yeah.
All right, the ball carrier there is going to advance the ball up to about the 10-yard line. Still short of the first down, only gets a couple, and it's going to bring up 4th down and about 8 yards to go. Again, Maine West can get a first down before they get into the end zone.
Yup. And if you're Maine East, you just wanna come away from this game with at least 2 stops. 2 stops. Try and prevent them from getting a touchdown on this fourth down, and just get them to not score right here.
Let's see what happens here on 4th and 8. Turns, gives to their back, who's able to cut it in, but gets tackled brutally and sorry, I was going to say astoundingly, and that doesn't really make any sense, but number 6 on the tackle. Who's number 6? Whitehead on the tackle. Again, stand tall, keep them out of the end zone. Another turnover on downs, and now if you're the Blue Demons, let's see if you can retain possession and maybe get a drive going here before the end of the ball game. So just about 4.5 minutes left to play, and Maine East takes over at their own 9-yard line.
And if it's going to be interesting to see how Coach Winkle calls this, whether he wants to be very aggressive or very conservative. And I say, hey, why not go super aggressive? What do you got to lose?
I mean, at this point, you'd think that if you're Coach Winkle, you just want to get some, practice some plays against live competition and see what you can do. So we'll see what happens here. I-formation backfield, they've been running this a lot under center, and I think it's just because the extra blockers get some extra push because they were dominated in the middle and get some positive momentum there. Gains about 3 yards on the play, bringing up about 2nd down, 7 yards to go. As we take it inside of 4 minutes left to go in the ball game.
we'll see if they try and air the ball out, and maybe they try that play, the boot play. They got a lot of yards out in the beginning.
We'll
of
see.
the
I
game.
do see that Adam Awad is back in the ball game as the quarterback, so whatever's going on with his hand, he must be okay enough to continue. So Whitehead is no longer the emergency quarterback. Again, I formation under center takes. He is back to throw, looking for his man under pressure, and heaves it up as he's taken to the ground, and it's going to fall incomplete. And again, that's been the story for the offense all night. Every time Awad has gone back to pass, he gets to the top of his drop, and he's having to avoid pressure from somebody. It could be either up the middle. I've seen it on both sides. It's just the trenches have been a tough spot for the Maine East Blue Demons tonight.
And I said it before the game, Maine East was going to live and die by the trenches, and it's just not been going their way this game.
So 3rd down at 7.
Yeah.
Maine West looking to blitz. This time they hand it off. Good steam there. This is going to take them up, and they're going to get themselves a 1st down just over the 20 to the 22-yard line. That will move the sticks, and the drive continues. Vudic there on the carry.
And it looks like there is an injured player on the field. That is very unfortunate.
Hate to see an injury, especially this late in the game. It's actually been a pretty, it's been a few bumps and bruises, but overall it's been a pretty injury-free night here at Maine Memorial Stadium, so you hate to see one happen with, you got about 2 minutes left to play. I don't know which player is down. I don't know, Nate, if you can get a number, but we hope that they're okay.
It looks like it's Alan Vujic, number 1.
The ball carrier, yep.
Yep. Very unfortunate to see. And it looks like he's getting help up. And it looks like it's a leg injury because he's not putting pressure on one of his legs.
Yeah, he's getting help off the field from the trainers. Yeah, no weight on that leg, and we hope that it's going to be he's going to be okay. So play's going to resume with the injury timeout. 2 minutes, 11 seconds left to go in this one. 42-0 the score. The Maine West Warriors over the Blue Demons. But he gets the first down, and we'll see what happens here in this one here. We have 1st down, 10 yards to go.
Very, very unfortunate to see. You never want to see an injury, especially this late in the game.
Again, out of the I formation, give to big number 34. Big hole. Number 6, dragging tacklers with him, and he gets another 1st down. DeAndre Epshire running with authority, trying to make a statement here in the waning minutes of this game. Again, the chains move.
Yep.
And it's 1st down.
And I think at this point it's just trying to show the Maine West Warriors that Maine East will not lay down and not let them just run all over them. Especially this late in the game.
Getting out of the eye, and that time big number 67 eats him up. Jaden Falla. Or excuse me, James Bober, number 67 there. Tackles him for a loss, bringing up 2nd and 12.
And
as we get down to inside of a minute left to go in the ball game.
Yeah, and with the clock running, it seems like this is going to be one of the last 2 plays, if not the last play of the game.
Yep, another runoff between the guard and the center. Gains, looks like no gain, maybe a half yard in the play. Going to be about a 3rd and 10 to go.
Yeah, and unless it looks like they're going to try and go for one final play, and then that'll be the final play of the game.
It's about to go final here at Maine Memorial Stadium. Tough night for the Blue Demons as they're going to lose 42-0 to their rival across town, the Maine West Warriors. Last play out of the WAD gives to Jaden Whitehead, and he is tackled for a loss of 1. And that's going to do it here at Maine Memorial Stadium. Any last words, Nate?
It's just very unfortunate to see this happen, especially on the homecoming night, and it's just not much you can do. On to the next week. Hopefully we can put up a better performance.
Well, on that note, I wish everybody a safe, happy, and healthy homecoming as we say goodbye for the moment. We would like to thank our incredible student-run crew here at WMTH-TV. They do it all, make this broadcast happen. Special thanks to our athletic director, Mr. Kendall Griffin, for his enthusiastic support. Thanks to both the Maine East and Maine West football teams. Tonight's broadcast was produced by senior Quinton the Beast Lasky. Our camera operators are Elvis Mickelson and Edgar Vititis. That's going to do it here from Maine Memorial Stadium. The final score, Maine West defeats the Maine East Blue Demons by a score of 42-0. Along with Nate Kleiber, I'm Mr. Philip Ash. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on WMTH-TV.